What we're really going to focus on today is how you can create a diversified income. And of course, with all that's been going on in the world recently, never has that been more important. We know that you simply can't rely on a single source of income these days. So I hope that this masterclass helps you to understand more about the potential of starting a home business for yourself and helps you make a decision as to whether or not it's right for you. My key objective today is to share with you the power of a proven model, which we'll refer to as the collaborative marketing business model. And I'll explain more about this and how it can potentially positively impact your financial future. But first, let's look more specifically at what you can expect to get from attending this masterclass. As we've already said, you'll discover the power of the collaborative marketing model and how you can capitalize on it. We'll look at the 4 ways that income is generated and how wealth is created. I'll share with you 9 reasons why you might want to consider building a collaborative marketing business. And then we'll examine the 3 different types of income and how you can tap into all 3. You see, the chances are that right now you're only earning income from one of the 3 ways. We'll also touch on the core skills required for success, and we'll examine the converging trends that make this the ideal time to start a home business for yourself. So let's get started. For those of you who don't know me, let me give you a little bit of background. I'm Cliff Walker from the UK, although right now I'm living in South Africa. I've got a corporate background, and when I left the corporate world, I became a management consultant. And it was as a consultant that I was asked to research the direct-to-consumer business model for a client. And as a result of that, I've been full-time in the direct sales industry now for more than 20 years. I've been fortunate to have some great success, and I'm recognized as a leader and trainer, and I'm currently a 7-figure annual income earner. I've been featured on Net Millionaire Buzz Radio and on the internet TV show Modest to Millions. I've been a contributing author to the best-selling book, The Ultimate Guide to Network Marketing, and I'm the author of The Entrepreneur's Mindset Shift. And of course, you'll be receiving a free copy of that just for attending this masterclass. Now, why do I tell you this? I'm not trying to impress you, but I want you to understand that you're hearing from someone who has had some success and in fact was in the same place that you're in right now, albeit a few years ago. Unfortunately, I took action. And as a result of taking that action, I've reaped the rewards. And I truly hope that you can do the same. So let's look firstly at the 4 ways income is generated. We have employee, self-employed, business owner, and investor. And let's start with the employee, because most people generate their income as an employee. I did for many, many years. They get a job, they go to work, and in exchange for the work that they do, they get paid a weekly wage or a monthly salary. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a job, but let's look a bit more closely at some of the challenges if this is the only way that you generate income. Firstly, you are the focal point of income generation. What that means is that you have to turn up for work day after day, week after week in order to get paid. You're actually trading your time for money. And of course, income is limited to how many hours you can work. And what happens if the job stops? Well, of course, the income stops. And we know today there's no such thing as job security, especially after the recent pandemic that's affected the whole world. And if you can't work for any reason, the income stops. And of course, if you're an employee, the chances are that you're creating wealth for someone else and not for yourself. So now let's look at the self-employed way of generating income. As a self-employed person, you have a little more freedom because you have no boss, but you have all of the responsibility. If we look at the challenges here again, we see that if you're self-employed, you are again the focal point of income generation. It's all about you being able to work. And again, you're in the same boat as an employed person in the sense that as a self-employed person, you're trading your time for money. And of course, you start from zero every month. The third way of generating income is by being a business owner. As a business owner, you're much more in control, and successful business owners understand the power of leveraging a business model to generate income from many different places at the same time. And we'll explore this important concept a little more later. Now let's look at the challenges of being a traditional business owner. you have the hassles associated with employing staff. And normally, there's a big financial risk. You normally have to give up your job, losing any guaranteed income, and often you have to put your home at risk in order to raise the capital required. And of course, we know that most businesses unfortunately fail within the first 2 years, so the risks are very high. The final way that you can generate income is by becoming an investor. Now, it's a great way to make money, and many of the world's wealthiest people have made a large proportion of their wealth through investments. But as we know, it takes money to make money, so it's not an option for most people. Returns can be low, and unless you know what you're doing, there's a lot of risk involved. So as we look again at the 4 ways income is generated, we can share an interesting fact. If we look at the left side of this graphic, where the employed and self-employed people are, we can see that 95% of the population are on this side, but only 5% of wealth is generated here. Conversely, if we look at the right side, where business owners and investors exist, we can see that only 5% of the population exist here, yet 95% of the wealth is generated here. So that clearly tells us that you're not likely to become wealthy if you're an employee or self-employed. The key is, of course, to move to the right side. And the good news is that I'm going to show you a way to become a business owner without the risk of traditional business, without quitting your job, and without taking up a great deal of your time. And that's through the concept that I call collaborative marketing, which we're going to explore more now. But first, let's define collaboration. It's about 2 or more people working together to achieve a goal. When you collaborate effectively, you're now not out there alone, and that considerably reduces your exposure or risk and enhances your chance of success. So it's a much more effective way of being in business. So let's look at the collaborative marketing model and start to explore its potential as a vehicle for generating income. Now, you may have come across an older version of the concept, as I referred to it earlier, direct-to-consumer marketing. You might have heard the term relationship marketing or referral marketing. It's essentially all the same thing, but I use collaborative marketing because it's really a more modern approach to this way of getting products or services to customers. But let's look first at how retail products traditionally get from the manufacturer to the customers. Traditionally, a manufacturer would make a product and employ a sales force to sell it to the retailers. The retailers would employ buyers in their head office who would negotiate the deals. And then, of course, the agreed product has to be delivered either to a central warehouse or directly to store. The manufacturer then has to spend a huge amount on TV advertising and promotion, as the retailers, well, they want the product to move quickly out of their stores. Then it's up to the customers to visit the stores to buy. That's the traditional model. Now, all the way along this chain, there's either profit to be made or cost to be covered. And of course, that's all built into the retail price that we pay when we go into the store. Now, of course, more stores are moving to online retailing. We'll look at that a little bit later, but this is the traditional model. Now, collaborative marketing works differently and much more efficiently. Here you see, you still have a manufacturer or a marketing company, but instead of employing salaried salespeople, they take their product to market through independent business owners. And these individuals either sell directly to customers or through an e-commerce website where customers buy and have the product delivered directly to their door. And this model cuts down on costs. It's much more efficient and shares the profit with independent business owners. It's a great way to become a business owner without any of the associated risks of traditional business that we discussed earlier. So let's look a little bit more closely at how collaborative marketing actually works. You see, the key is to remove yourself from being the focal point of income generation. So how do you do this? Well, in collaborative marketing, by building a team and capitalizing on a powerful concept that we call exponential growth. Now, when you start your business, it starts with just you, of course. But then let's say you start to build a team. And in this example, let's say you introduce just 5 people who decide to join you in your business. Now you have 5 people plus you in your team. Now, here's the really exciting part of collaborative marketing. You see, those you have in your team can also choose to build a team in the same way that you are. So let's say the 5 people that you introduce do the same as you, and they also introduce 5 people each. Now you would have 25 new people in your team, making a total of 30 people. And let's take it one step further. Let's say those 25 do the same thing. Now 125 new people would be in your team, and you'd have a team of 155. That's the power of exponential growth. You only introduced 5, but your team started to grow through this concept that we're talking about. And there's no other business model in the world that provides this sort of potential. That's why collaborative marketing is such an exciting model. So why does it make sense to join these independent business owners that we're speaking about and start building a collaborative marketing business for yourself? Well, let's look at 9 good reasons. We'll go through these fairly quickly. The first is time freedom. What if you could work from any corner of the globe and you could create an income that would let you live the life of your dreams? Wouldn't it be great to be in control of your time and work when you want to work? Well, this type of business provides that option because of the way income is created, which we will look at in a few minutes. Having time freedom really lets you own your own life. No one telling you when to work or when to take holidays. You are in control. Number 2, financial independence. Imagine not having to rely on a job to generate income. Wouldn't it be great not to have to worry about job security and only earning what somebody else thinks you're worth? How about earning money while you sleep? That's exciting. A proven business model. Similar to franchising, with collaborative marketing, you can tap into a proven business system. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's all in place for you. You just have to follow the model, and of course you have to do the work. But you don't have to risk anything. Number 4, turnkey business solution. Imagine having a turnkey business model with a proven record of success. You don't need a legal team, shipping and fulfillment house, an information technology infrastructure, or employees. You can literally run a global business right out of your home, and many people around the world are doing just that. 5, leverage without risk. Leverage is really the key to creating wealth. We've seen that business owners leverage a business model to create wealth, and investors leverage money to create wealth. Well, here you can tap into the concept of leverage. And John Paul Getty, who was once the richest man in the world, famously said, "I would rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts." He understood the concept of leverage, and we'll look at how this works in a few minutes. The 6th reason is tapping into technology. In collaborative marketing, your office is virtual and online. You don't have to create sophisticated business infrastructure. It's already been done for you. You have systems for tracking and monitoring your business 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Systems that are already built and in place for you. The internet has made running a business much more affordable than ever before, and technology has streamlined every process, shortening your learning curve and accelerating your chances of success. The 7th reason is lifestyle choices. You see, running your own collaborative marketing business allows you to create a lifestyle of choice. Owning a traditional business might make you great money, but it doesn't really allow for much flexibility. You're tied to that business, and lifestyle is all about flexibility. It's about choices, and that's what you've got here with collaborative marketing. Tax write-offs. Running your own home-based business can give you some great tax breaks. You're able to offset some of your expenses against your business. Now, of course, we're not offering tax advice here, but you'll probably be surprised at what you can offset and some of the savings that you can make. And the 9th reason, realize your dreams. The business model offers you the possibility of creating any level of income you desire. There's no limit, and it's structured so that you have the time to enjoy it because of this concept of leverage that we've spoken about. So you can really live the lifestyle that you've dreamed of. All you have to decide is if it's for you, and then if it is, obviously take action. So there we have 9 good reasons for starting your own business. Now let's look at the 3 different types of income that are available in the world and how you can tap into all 3 with this business model. Remember earlier I mentioned you're probably only tapping into one of them. So there are actually 3 different types of income that can be generated. But as we've said, most people are only generating income in one way, and it's usually the first way. So let's have a look at that. The first income that you can generate is called linear income. And this is the type of income that you generate if you've got a job or if you're self-employed. You do the work, and in return for the work, you get paid. And as we know in this scenario, you're the focal point of income generation. The second type of income is called leveraged income, and this is much more exciting as a way of generating income because you're no longer the focal point of income generation. With leveraged income, income is generated from many places at the same time. Now let's look at a great example. I like to use McDonald's. We've all heard of McDonald's, but if we think about it, do McDonald's have one huge outlet somewhere that we all drive to go and get our hamburger fix? No, of course they don't. You see, what they've done is they've successfully replicated their business model. And they've done that almost 38,000 times around the world, and they earn income from every outlet. You see, that's the power of leverage. And that's the sort of leverage that you can create in collaborative marketing. And that's what makes it such an exciting model. And we'll look at that in a couple of minutes. But first, let's look at the third type of income that's available. It's called residual income. And this is by far the most exciting type of income because here you do the work once, but you get paid forever. Imagine that, doing the work once and then getting paid forever. This is how songwriters and authors earn income. They write the song or the book, they write it once, but they get paid ongoing royalties. And here's an interesting fact. Any idea how much Elvis made last year? Well, of course, he died in 1977, but guess what? His estate earned $39 million last year in royalties. So let's look a little more closely at how leverage can work for you. First, let's look at time leverage. You see, right now, let's say you're working 40 hours a week. Well, you're paid on that 40 hours of effort. Things work differently in collaborative marketing. Let's say that you invest just 10 hours a week, part-time, into your business. But then you start to build a team of people and they start doing the same as you. They invest, let's say, just 10 hours a week into their business. You see, you get paid on the total hours of your team, not just the hours that you've invested. So in this example, let's say that you now have a small team of just 100 people. It's not going to happen overnight, but let's say you build up a team of 100 people, all putting just 10 hours a week into their business. Well, you'd be paid on 1,000 hours of effort. When were you last paid on 1,000 hours of effort when you only worked for 10 hours? You see, it just doesn't happen in a traditional job, and it doesn't actually happen, really, in a traditional business either. So let's look at money leverage. Well, you see, it works in pretty much the same way as time leverage. In collaborative marketing, you earn an override on the productivity of the team that you build. So, for example, let's say that you were to find just 20 customers and the 100 people in your team were to do the same thing. You would get paid on 2,000 customers. That's not you finding 2,000 customers. That's this concept of leverage and exponential growth. You can see how powerful that is. And of course, there's no limit to how big your team might grow. Now let me give you one more example of the power of exponential growth. If I offered you a choice of £1 million in your hands right now or 1p that doubles every day for 30 days, what would you choose? Well, you see, most people would choose to take the £1 million. But let's look at what happens with that 1p. In the first 10 days, it's not looking too good. That 1p is only worth £5.12. In the next 10 days, that 1p has grown to just £5,242.88. So it's still looking good if you chose to take that £1 million. By day 26, that 1p has grown to a pretty healthy £335,544.32. But look what happens in the last 4 days. This is the key. That measly 1p has grown to more than £5 million. You see, that's the potential of exponential growth. Once it starts, you can't stop it. And that's what makes collaborative marketing such an exciting business. So let's look again at the 3 types of income and how you can earn all 3 types in your collaborative marketing business. Remember, linear income is where you do the work. You earn this as you acquire new customers or introduce new team members. Leveraged income is earned as you build a team. You earn an override on the efforts of your team. And residual income comes from customers in your entire organization repurchasing products on a regular basis. Earning all 3 incomes is certainly better than only earning linear income. Let's now take a minute to look at some of the skills that you'll need if you want to be successful. Of course, there'll be some business skills which you'll learn as you go, but you'll also need to develop some personal skills. You'll need to have a positive, can-do attitude. You'll need to learn how to set goals, and it will be important to be coachable as you'll need to learn this new business model and how to implement it effectively. You'll need to learn to become an effective communicator as you build your team. Very importantly, you'll need to learn how to prospect effectively and how to follow up and follow through. These are all important personal skills that you'll need to develop. But don't worry, because they can all be learned, and if you've already got them, well, you're in a very good place. Okay, so we now know the skills we need to succeed, but the real key to success in business is the ability to spot a trend and capitalize on it. Many successful people have put their success down to simply being in the right place at the right time. In other words, they were in front of a trend. Well, the good news is that right now there's not just one trend that you can capitalize on, but 5 converging trends. So let's look at trend number 1, the amazing growth of social media. The explosion of social media is amazing and it shows no signs of stopping. Look at these numbers. 2.6 billion people on Facebook every single month. Instagram has 1 billion monthly users. Twitter, 330 million, and LinkedIn, which is recognized as the place to be for business professionals, now has 690 million members in 200 countries. You can reach more people than ever before, quickly, cheaply, and effortlessly, making social media a huge trend to capitalize on right now. Trend number 2 is internet automation. There's no question that the internet has completely changed how business is done. And online automation has taken that to an entirely new level. Indeed, automating an online business so it works for you while you're doing other things is one of the biggest trends right now. Thanks to this concept, marketing campaigns, sales, order fulfillment, delivery support, and much more can all be automated, which makes running a home business not only much easier, but enables you to earn more while you're actually working less because you're tapping in to this concept of automation. The third major trend you can capitalize on is online buying. The internet has completely changed our buying habits. You can now go online, search for a product, and place an order in minutes. And it can be on your doorstep in a matter of hours sometimes. You see, people no longer need to leave their house to go shopping. The market for online shopping is worth $3.5 trillion, and it's expected to grow to $5 trillion by 2023. Literally billions of people are now shopping online around the world. With an online business, you'll have none of the costs that hamper you in traditional business, like premises to pay for, staff, insurance, stocking your products, and all of the other overheads that a physical business is saddled with. The fourth trend is working from home. With the increase in internet automation, online shopping, social media, the ease in which people can market their products online, and the current global situation, more and more people are choosing to throw off the shackles of the 9-to-5 rat race and start up their own home-based business. Did you know there's actually 582 million entrepreneurs in the world today? Why not become one of them? And the final trend is possibly the biggest of all. It's the explosion in anti-aging as people around the world get older. The global market for anti-aging products is already worth $500 billion and it's expected to grow to $756 billion by 2026. That's astronomical growth in anyone's book. In fact, anti-aging is now one of the biggest markets in the world. So there's a massive opportunity to make some serious money, but only if you can find the right opportunity, of course, and take the right products to market. So those are the 5 trends. What about the tools that you'll have to help you build your business? Well, if you partner with the right team, you'll have access to world-class materials to promote your business. These will be ready for you. You don't have to create them. And that saves you, again, time and money. Brochures, booklets, online PDFs, websites, they should all be available to you. And of course, as this is an online home-based business, you can access tools like video email and Zoom for connecting directly with customers and team members wherever they may be. One thing to recognize is that in a collaborative marketing business, it's systems and processes that can be duplicated, not people and personalities. So picking the right team that have the systems and processes in place that you can simply plug into is really important. So look out for that. Another important factor is to find a mentor, someone who has been there and done it, someone that can be a role model for you and that has the knowledge and experience to help you succeed. A good mentor will give you valuable feedback and he or she can be your guide to success. So that brings us almost to the end of this masterclass. I hope you found it useful and I truly hope you've learned some things. If you have, and you're keen to start your own collaborative marketing business, then we might just have the perfect vehicle for you. I'm partnered with a 10-year-old billion-dollar global company, and right now I'm building a new personal team. So if you're serious and would like the idea of working with me and my team, then please go ahead and schedule a call. Just click on the button and that will take you to my online diary system. Thank you for joining us on this masterclass, and whatever you go on to do in the future, I wish you great success.